Hello everybody. Yeah, I know it's been a little bit. So yeah, as you guys can probably tell, or if you guys didn't see my stream earlier today, I got to finally play the beta today. I've been playing it on and off throughout the day at mass amounts. I have at least 6 or 7 videos worth of footage right now, which is good. That's why I wanted from the first week of the beta. But regardless, I just want to talk about what I think about the beta, how I think it's going, stuff like that, and any balance changes I think are needed. So, first things first, I'm going to talk about the guns from the guns that we don't have access to. Obviously, we don't have access to them yet. 2 of them, though, we do have access to through the base classes, and one of them, depending on what they do, or depending on if it's the attachments that are making it so bad, or if the gun itself is that bad, really needs a buff, and that is the LW8 Tundra, or the L96, if you guys want to call it by its real name. So the reason why I'm saying that this gun needs a serious buff, if it has that, is the fact that it simply aims down sight way too slow for the amount of damage it does. I mean, if this gun cannot one-shot to the stomach, there would be no point in using it. And that's the issue. There is not really a point in using it, other than the fact of just testing out once or twice, because the weapon itself, at the moment at least, aim down sights in about a second, I think it almost is. Like, it's horribly slow. Like I said, could be due to attachments, who knows. But at the same time, it just does not. It hit markers all the time, unless you go for super upper chest, which I think is wrong. I think a sniper should be able to one-shot to the lower chest, or or like the midsection stomach region. And that's because of the fact, well, you're shooting a sniper rifle. The R700, aka the Pellington, I can say is good enough where it is. It's a bit snappier, but it trades that out for a slightly shorter one-shot kill area, which is fine for me. I think that is completely balanced. Other than that, the RPG is fine, and we haven't gotten to see the we haven't gotten the RPG, we haven't gotten the QBB or the QBZ, the 3-round burst SMG. And I believe that's it for the guns that we don't have access to at the moment. Like, at all. But, yeah, so time for me to start talking about my opinion on the beta. So, firstly, I've watched the Exclusive Ace video, and I've tested this myself as someone who's played the alpha and played this. Time to kill has not changed. Even though it feels like it has, and I can agree it feels like it has, but it has not changed. 2 major things have changed. Well, actually, 3 major things. One, the recoil is a lot higher, so there's a lot more people getting lucky headshots. So guns like the XM4 and the Krieg, which were originally very accurate weapons that not many people, most people instinctively go for body shots most of the time. That's why it seems a lot faster now, though, is because we're now getting those random headshots from just the higher recoil. 2 is something I'm going to talk about later, because it's the biggest thing in the beta that I have a problem with. And 3 is the fact that the overall player skill is much more adapted now. As we're in the alpha, a lot of people haven't, it was their first time picking up this game and testing it. This is the second time around. These people know much more, and therefore they're going to play a lot better. Okay, so on to the biggest thing I have with the beta, and it's the thing that everyone's complaining about. Aside from skill-based matchmaking, I think the matchmaking is actually pretty fair. I've had I do good and bad some games, but generally it's not like I'm overexerting myself or generally underexerting myself. Obviously, some people it's worse, some people it's better. I feel like just from a personal feel, I feel like there's a threshold that gets crossed between those who get into the super sweaty lobbies and those who get into the really, really, I say, like, dumpster tier lobbies where everyone can barely play a console. But regardless, let's get on to the big point. Lag. If you guys know, on stream, and there's going to be quite a few clips in the gameplays in the next coming days, especially with the gun, the M16, 2 to 3 major things are happening with the lag. One is that there is lag skipping. Now, for those that don't know what lag skipping is or have never heard that term for it, basically it's when people skip or they super speed across the map because they're desyncing with the server. And that's probably the biggest thing about this game right now is just desync, because that influences the second major thing, which is bullets not registering. I don't know if it's just the hit detection, but it looks more, from what I felt, it feels more like there is desync, as in you are firing and the game knows, like the server is saying, okay, you fired these bullets, but because on the other person's screen and the server screens they didn't shoot you, they're going to instead try and, you know, it's trying to compensate, so your bullets just didn't deal any damage, because it thinks that you didn't, it thinks that you got rid of the ammo, but you didn't actually shoot, which is a huge thing. Like I said, or it could just be that there's a hitbox / hit detection issue going on. I noticed that a lot around the arms, there's a lot of hit detection issues. Which that might be something as well to worry about, but that's like the biggest thing. And the last thing I've seen is just overall performance. Now I run on a 100 FOV in this game, which is kind of high for a lot of people. A lot of people only like to run around 90, 80, which 80 is the standard. But for someone who runs at 100, A, I like it, but B, you also have the fact that it tends to cause performance to drop in some cases, and the biggest thing about it is that the characters, and then this, because of the skipping, because of other things going on, mixed in with the lag and with the visuals of characters, which we'll talk about last, the overall feeling is that you're feeling like you cannot win 1v1 gunfights very well, and that people can see you in ways that you can't see them. And in a lot of ways, that statement is very true. And let's get into why, at least character visually wise. So visually, the characters are, A, you have the fact of field of view change, which I've already gotten used to for the most part. I can tell where people are and stuff like that, field of view wise. But secondly, the characters just do not stand out. A big map that shows this to me is Cartel, which is the map you're seeing in the background. This map tends to have a lot of areas with like bushes and stuff like that, and anyone who's not wearing like super bright colors, like if you're playing Adler, you can be seen or Woods or something like that, you can be seen just because of the contrast of the colors. But if you're wearing like gray and stuff like that, you know, that sort of style of material, I guess you call it, you generally will not see a, you generally will probably not see the people, and because foliage in this game, your head doesn't pop up through foliage. I know that was a big thing in like Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2, was the fact that people complained about being able to be seen in like foliage. I think it's a good thing that it's not there, but I also think that they need to highlight the visibility of the players a bit more. One example of something I think that you can do to fix this, and this is something that somebody, Drifter, who I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about before once or twice. He's a YouTube stats channel for Call of Duty. But essentially, he made what I think is the best decision out of all of it that someone can make, and that is that simply put, brighten the characters a little bit, potentially give them like a pop to them, like a slightly lighter outline, to where they pop more in the general area, just so you know it's easier for people to see. Other than that, though, I gotta give my quick little closing statements. So other than the connection and some graphical / system issues, overall I've had really good fun with this beta so far. The guns all feel meaty to me. The leveling system for weapons does need to get tweaked. I forgot to mention that. They do need to increase the leveling speed. But otherwise, it seems completely fine. As for anything else, the weapon balance seems to be fairly good. The AK-47 should probably be buffed a little bit. I just feel like it doesn't have the damage nor the range for what it's trying to do. And a few other guns like the Stoner and stuff like that. But otherwise, it seems fairly balanced. That being said, I'll be going into more in-depth stuff in more videos later on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my overall impressions of the beta so far within my first day. And once again, hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Desmond12530 signing out.